Are you ready to begin? Are you ready to get on? You're about to start out on the journey of your life.
If you're ready, then get in. Once you're in, then we'll get gone. And who knows, once it goes, where you'll be when it arrives.
It's a fun house where the mirrors all reflect what's real,
And reality's as twisted as the mirrors reveal. And the fun is finding out what the mirrors show.
Yes, thank you, Flex, Squelch, and Dangle. Yes, a convention is much like Phantasma, a place of wonder and enchantment, music and entertainment, and also some people who are just plain psycho. So today I'm going to talk to you about proper convention etiquette, and also how to deal with people who don't adhere to it without getting yourself in trouble. The first thing we're going to address is glomping. You probably have seen it happen or heard of it. Glomping is a flying hug tackle at someone, and it hurts. Yep, even if you are smaller than the person you are glomping, even if you are really thin, it hurts. What you have to understand about glomping is that when you leap at someone, none of your own weight is supporting you. When you land, you are dead weight, and that will always, 100% of the time, result in some sort of injury. Also, you don't know the story behind the person you're glomping. Their costume could be really fragile, and that's the least of it. They could have a condition. Because supposing they have hemophilia, and your costume were to snag their skin, you could potentially kill them. Also, not just physical disorders, sometimes there are psychological disorders that make glomping a bad idea. Post-traumatic stress disorder, especially triggered by any kind of physical abuse, whether or not you ever intend that, which I doubt you do if you're just glomping someone at a convention, no matter how innocent you think it is, you can trigger a flashback. And sometimes, if someone is deep enough in the PTSD, then they can go into complete flashback mode and you can get hurt. Someone may lash out at you, and it's just not a good idea. Also, glomping can kill. Not living people unless there's a freak accident where you knock them over and they crack their skull open, but in the third trimester of pregnancy, if you were to glomp a pregnant woman, and you don't always know, some people don't carry the weight like you would expect, and if the person is in the third trimester, whether or not you do notice it, you can kill that baby if you were to glomp them too hard, because sudden heavy impact can cause a miscarriage. All in all, glomping is just something you want to avoid altogether, and if you really feel like you must do it, then I know it takes away from the spontaneity, and I know that's part of what makes it fun for a lot of you guys, but you should ask if you really have to glomp someone. The next item of business is something fun, since I just rained on your parade of a serious issue. We're making an Advice Club sandwich today. The carb-heavy, bland, but ever so important for holding our sandwich together bread is the serious matters, and the low-calorie, tastier fixins will be our fun topics. Alright. The next topic is the dealer's room and how to behave yourself there. Now, the dealer's room and Artist Alley are two of the most crowded places at any con. They are where you will find all the amazing and wonderful souvenirs. Now, some advice about the dealer's room. Number 1, always go in with a budget in mind. Don't deviate from that budget or you might end up broke. Shop around also. That's number 2. That cute little Renoa Harley outfit, yeah, that's $120 and the quality's probably for shit once you get it home. Make sure you really look at the items before you buy them. Just because it's a cosplay and it looks accurate from afar does not mean when you get it home in good lighting that it's going to still look that good. You should usually either make your own cosplays or buy from a reputable commissioner. 3. On that note, if there is a brand name fashion shop there, H. Naoto, Baby the Star, Shine Bright, Timeless Trends, Corsetry, Arta Wigs, all of those, they were all at Otakon, by the way. Make sure you save a majority of your budget for that if it's something you want, especially the Lolita brands, which will cost you about the price of 2 Timeless Trends corsets, or about 5 or 6 Arta Wigs. Again, these are just examples. I know there are other brands that you possibly prefer. On that note, if you see an off-brand Lolita booth, don't be ashamed to buy from them if their quality is good. The Lolita community is notoriously catty and bitchy, which is why I'm no longer part of it, but many of them do understand that not everyone can fit into or afford angelic pretty. And honestly, if you know Lolita clothing, then you know the basic rules and you know what to look for, so why not economize? Alright, also, if you're cosplaying, then when you're asked for a photo, don't block the halls or booths. It's not fair to others and it makes you look like an asshole, whether or not you meant to be. Also, back to the whole shopping issue. Look for interesting and unique things. Anyone can blow $250 on a generic samurai sword or a Lolita dress. See if there's anything more unique available. A handmade ocarina, for instance, or a completely new style of clothing you've never heard of. Another thing, if you opt to haggle for something, make your offers reasonable. If someone wants $200 for an authentic white PVC kimono with a corseted obi, you are already getting a pretty good deal. Especially if it's a very long kimono. $100 is not a reasonable offer on a $200 item. However, if you need to pay for cab fare back to your hotel and pay for dinner later that night, you can try for $190. When haggling, normally after your first offer, you'll either be told you have to pay the exact price or get out of their store, or you'll be given a counter offer a bit lower than their first one and a bit higher than yours. Or else, if things go well and you're a good haggler, it'll be accepted. Note that the more famous and popular the shop is, the less likely you are to ever get a lower price. For instance, if you go to random off-brand Lolita booth X, you're more likely to get a deal if you haggle than you are at Baby the Stars Shine Bright, where they'll probably just laugh in your face. Alright, the other one is shop around on day 1 and don't buy until day 2 or 3. Prices decline over time because no one wants to drag all that merchandise home with them, especially sellers who had to ship the merchandise overseas or by air. Day 3 is a goldmine of epic bargains normally, whereas day 1 features sky-high prices. I saw a beautiful dress Chinese day, it cost $90. On the second day, there was only one left in exactly my size, and it was $30. I was able to also buy a Count D looking outfit in light violet and black along with it, and that cost only $60. Originally it was $120. And now we have another very serious topic, and then we'll break for now and return to our advice sandwich in another video. Con creepers is our next topic. We all know what they are and who they are, whether they're male or female. Con creepers are the ones who demand hot yaoi action from male cosplayers and cosplayers, the ones who try to get upskirt peeks at short-skirted girls, or stare overlong at cleavage, or stalk their favorite character. Here's some facts. While conventions are a load of fun, they also attract people from all walks of life. From harmless con newbie weeaboo types, who while a little overexcited and potentially annoying will be harmless and will likely grow out of it, to the most awesome chill people you'll ever meet and will have a great time with, to the cosplay elitists who will pick apart your costume and look down on you, to the hero-worshipping costume noob who loves your outfit and wants your advice, and then to the dreaded con creeper. Unfortunately, there is no 100% perfect way of dealing with one. You have so many things to take into account when one shows up that you may never know exactly how to appropriately deal. Does the person have a mental disorder? Is the person just new and putting on some false bravado? Is the person a genuine asshole? Is the person dangerous? Am I just being paranoid? Here's a good way to tell if you have a genuine creeper or not. A creeper will usually A. have little to no social boundaries, B. will treat you like an object for their fan service rather than a human being, C. completely ignores any attempt to express discomfort with their behavior, may openly stalk you or follow you around, makes blatant or even thinly veiled sexual comments even after you somehow express discomfort. They make you feel unsafe, they try to get you to go off alone with them, and they demand fan service without caring about your feelings about it, and will not relent. Now, that's how you tell a creeper from being paranoid. If someone gives you a quick stare because you're wearing something revealing and then looks away, or if someone asks you for fan service and then backs off when you tell them that you're uncomfortable, then usually they're not a creeper, they're just maybe a little not so used to the con scene. For my example, because I'm a musical theater nerd, we'll be using names from Phantom of the Opera. Example A. Ral very much likes Christine's cosplay. Christine is a very pretty girl. Ral awkwardly follows Christine for a bit, and then when she turns around to ask why, he politely requests a picture. Christine complies, and then Ral thanks her and suggests a slightly more erotic photo. Ral says, "Christine, will you do a sexy pose for me?" Christine feels uncomfortable and expresses it. "Ral, I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that idea, actually." Ral is a bit disappointed, but he accepts. "Alright, no problem, thank you for the first picture." He leaves. He may wave to Christine if he sees her again, and maybe they'll talk, or become friends, or never see each other again after the con, but either way, he does not stalk or harass her any further. Okay, example B. Meg thinks Eric's outfit is amazing and sexy. Eric is with his best friend Daroga, who is also in an amazingly sexy outfit. Meg, like Ral with Christine, awkwardly follows Eric and Daroga, and when finally they ask her why, Meg replies with, "I want a picture of you two doing something yowie." Daroga winces a bit. "I wouldn't be comfortable doing that." Eric cringes. "I wouldn't either." Meg pouts. "Oh, come on, please, don't be so homophobic." Daroga shakes his head. "It isn't a matter of homophobia, I just don't feel comfortable with that kind of picture." Eric and Daroga walk off. Meg continues to follow and pester them for the rest of the con. So as you can tell, while Ral was a little out of bounds in asking for a sexy picture from a stranger, he at least backed off when Christine made her discomfort clear. Eric and Daroga had no such luck and were followed for the rest of the con by Meg, who is undoubtedly our con creeper of the two examples. Anyway, here is how you deal with a con creeper once they have been identified and have become a problem. 1. If they are really being inappropriate, confront them first. If they persist, report them to security. Do not be afraid to make a scene, especially if they've touched you. Better safe and embarrassed than sorry. 2. If they actively try and physically do anything, do not overreact. You will be in trouble. Pepper spray or, again, running to security is appropriate. Pulling bear mace or weapons is not. In fact, you may not even be able to use pepper spray inside the convention center. But if you're on your way back, you could. 3. If it becomes a legal matter, as in they go beyond creeper and are stalking you back to the hotel, or God forbid, things become very, very serious, get the police involved. This is a rare instance, but please be aware not everyone at conventions is a nice person. Just like any nightclub, bar, or social setting, there are people who will try to take advantage. Examples again, this time using Warcraft! Alright, example A. Kael'thas has been following Jaina all day. It's getting on her nerves and upsetting her. Kael has also been snapping candid shots whenever Jaina bends over or is in some kind of compromising position. Finally, Kael touches Jaina in a completely unwanted and inappropriate way. Jaina yells sharply at him to back off and quickly hurries to find con security. Kael's badge is confiscated, and Jaina opts to now travel with a group instead of alone. Example B. Illidan has been hounding Tyrande for a date all day. He's been pushy and aggressive, and finally he touches her hip. She's had enough. Tyrande backhands him across the face and shouts at him. Con security sees the whole thing, and both Tyrande and Illidan have their badges confiscated because Tyrande became violent instead of going by con protocol and reporting him. See, Jaina handled it right. Kael did get overly inappropriate when he touched her, and that has probably had a very negative impact on Jaina. However, she kept her cool, and she went to con security. Now she can't get slapped with an assault lawsuit, or get her badge taken away. Tyrande overreacted. Slapping of Illidan could have escalated the situation, and she could have been in worse trouble. Travel in a group. Never go alone. Even if you don't have a cosplay group, at least get a group of friends. 2. Wear a costume you're comfortable with. You will get oogled in a sexy outfit, and oogling up to a certain point really isn't considered harassment until the person has actively propositioned, stalked, or touched you. So if you're uncomfortable with staring, then try to nip it in the bud as best you can. Though with some people they will anyway, no matter how modest your outfit are. Outfit is. Sorry. 3. Carry pepper spray. It's not permanent damage, and it will give you time to run away if a situation outside the con gets out of hand. Never try to fight or bring something dangerous into a fight. It will usually only make things worse. Remember, you may be dressed as Ayane, but that doesn't mean you're a badass ninja. If it's a late night and you're still at the con, try to take a cab home if your hotel is more than a mile away from the con especially. Have fun and stay safe at whatever con you go to. They're awesome. Don't let all that fear-mongering really get to you. It's a rare instance, I just want you all to be prepared.